Welcome to Terry's Tips, guys. This video is going to be different. This is going to be a high-level strategy video, okay? How I bought a Jaguar with business credit. And quick tip right here, I'm not talking about a business auto loan. I'm not talking about equipment financing. I'm not even talking about a term loan, okay, guys? So in this video, I'm going to outline the process that I use, that specifically I use to purchase vehicles in my business name. I'm also going to give you guys action items throughout the process, right? So I'm going to tell this story and give you action items so you can duplicate the process. And then I'm also going to share with you how you can work with me directly if you're looking to leverage your credit to build wealth. Quick nugget right here. Guys, the goal is to leverage to build wealth, not to get into a bunch of debt. So with every vehicle I purchase, I'm either looking at the vehicle making me money, write this down, it's either going to make me money or save me money. I am a car lover. I've been driving since I was 16. I've had a car since I was 16, and I always have 2 to 5 cars at any given time. Now, why am I starting right there? I told you this video is going to be different. No, I love vehicles. I'm one of them females that goes to car shows. I like Hemis. I like to drive fast. I could drive a stick shift. I love cars. So because it's something I love, I figured out a way to make vehicles for me, an asset instead of a liability. So I can buy toys. Come on, somebody, leverage my credit so I have the lifestyle I desire and not get into a bunch of debt. Quick tip right here. In the video, as I outline the process for you, I literally got over 6 figures in funding with no hard inquiry on my personal credit or my business credit. Come on, somebody. I'm going to do my nugget at the end. Okay, so I actually broke this up into 5 steps for you as I'm telling the story to help you follow along, okay? So step number 1 is I do my research. I mean this. So in this case, I specifically wanted a Jaguar F-Pace, right? I test drove a bunch of cars. I like cars. I knew that I wanted this specific vehicle. It was classy. It was nice. It wasn't too much, too extra. And I specifically wanted a brand new one, and I wanted a white one. Why? Because as I go through this process, I'm going to explain to you how the Jaguar is the vehicle that made me money and saved me money. And then this example, I'm going to give you 2 vehicles. I also bought an Audi AAL. Come on, somebody, all my car lovers. That vehicle is heavy with the executive package, and that vehicle made me money and helped pay for the Jaguar. Okay, so the reason why I specifically wanted a white Jaguar is because I had intentions in advance to get the car wrapped, which is one of the ways the vehicle makes me money, okay? So I do my research. Now, in this first step with research, guys, I actually use Carvana. So real quick nugget, I'm actually not a sponsor or affiliate for anything for Carvana, but because I am a female, I am a self-employed entrepreneur, I'm an investor, I'm a YouTuber, I have 3 sons, I very much value my time. So I don't want to go to 29 different dealerships, be haggled, go back and forth with prices. So I like to buy my cars through the online services and get them delivered to my front door. Yes, y'all, real quick nugget. If you follow me on Instagram, Care Credit Tools, I've posted videos of my cars getting delivered to my front door. I love it. I pick out what I want. They come to my front door. So I use specifically Carvana. In this research step, guys, you can use an online service. You can use any service. Now, the reason why I use Carvana is because I also want to get the VIN number. Okay, I've been doing this for a long time. Okay, so I like to get the VIN number. That way I can do a Carfax and check the vehicle history. Even though I wanted a brand new vehicle, in the case I bought a vehicle that was a year old or 2 years old, I still want to run that report in advance. And then I also check Kelley Blue Book, right? So on Kelley Blue Book, I'm actually looking at seeing what's the trade-in value, what's the retail value, and what's the private sale value. Now, why am I doing that? Because I want to know in advance if Carvana is giving me a crazy, outrageous price or if it's like the market value. So I use Carvana, Carfax, and Kelley Blue Book in this research, in this very first step. Now, the reason why this first step is critical is because I'm pricing the amount of money I need so I can later on secure the business funding. This is critical because some of y'all are like, I need $80,000 in business credit for a car, and you're trying to buy a Ford Focus or a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Corolla, great cars, a Honda Civic, and you may only need $15,000, $20,000. So you're getting shot down, you're being discouraged, but but you're asking for way over what you really need. So in this step number one, I'm telling you what I did and what I do. I price out the vehicle, and in this actual situation, at first I wasn't finding the car that I want. I wasn't in a rush because I own multiple vehicles. I'll talk about that in the next step. But I was specifically looking for the white vehicle, so I knew what year I wanted, brand new, and I also knew I wanted white, and I know the model. I wanted a Jaguar, a F-Pace, and I always get premium because I need that fast engine. Come on, somebody's gotta be me, okay? Now, step number 2 is I evaluate my business. This is critical. Write this down. I evaluate my business based on the 3 C's: credit, collateral, and cash flow. Now, this is important because based on these 3 things, right at the time where I'm trying to buy the vehicle, that's going to determine the kind of financing, the kind of business credit I want. Nugget right here. One reason why I absolutely love business credit, this video is going to be jam-packed with information, you're going to need to watch it a couple of times, is because there's so many options. Like I said, I did not use a business auto loan. I did not use a term loan. I did not use equipment financing. In this case, I didn't even use a merchant cash advance. I didn't use 401k financing. I didn't use asset-based financing. I didn't use a microloan. I specifically used working capital, and I'll explain that on the other steps. But me evaluating my business, so credit, I'm looking at my personal credit and my business credit, which in this case, my personal credit was A1. Come on now, I'm the credit expert, and my business credit was A1, okay? The second thing was collateral. Now, in this case also, right, I've been a self-employed entrepreneur since I was 38, so I teach. This is a wealth building ministry, which is why this video right here, you're not going to hear on anybody else talk about, because this is something that I just do on my own because I know business credit inside and out, and I've been doing this for over 20 years. Yes, y'all, okay? So collateral. So my business already owns vehicles and real estate, so I have collateral if I want to get financing based on that. And then third one is cash flow, which is actually the one that I used in this situation, and is actually the one I use the most for my business, okay? Meaning that if I have a business that is cash flowing, then I can get financing based on just the cash flow. Because I have a cash flowing business, guys, and that's, you don't necessarily need a business that's cash flowing a lot. Sometimes depending on the amount of money you need, how long you've been in business, and what your business is cash flowing, sometimes you may only need your business to cash flow $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month. The reason why I used financing that looked at my cash flow is because I knew that I could then get up to 6 figures and more because I purchased 2 vehicles. And I also got no hard inquiry on my personal, no hard inquiry on my business, right? Because they evaluated just the revenue and were able to say, okay, based on her monthly revenue, she can afford this financing. So I specifically used the cash flow option. Nugget right here. When you're evaluating your business, I teach this high-level strategy in my Patreon and in my one-on-one coaching. You don't have to be strong in all 3, right? I'm a credit expert, right? I'm a business coach, so this is my area of expertise. But if you have good personal credit, maybe good business credit, and no cash flow, there are lenders that will approve you based on credit. Let's say you have good cash flow and you have bad credit or no business credit. There are lenders that will approve you based on cash flow. Let's say you don't really have that much cash flow, your credit is iffy, but let's say you own equipment, like say you're a daycare or a restaurant, let's say you own a food truck, let's say you have 1 cash flowing property, or let's say you have 401k, something of that nature, then you can leverage having collateral for financing. So the nugget right here is that evaluate your business on the 3 C's: credit, cash flow, collateral, and you need to be strong in at least 1 or 2, I say, but sometimes you can get just 1. Okay, I specifically chose the cash flow option. All right, now step number 3, this is the big one. You must have a plan. Whenever I purchase a vehicle, for it to be something that I'm leveraging as an asset, I always put together a plan to pay the vehicle off in 12 to 24 months. This is a nugget. Follow me, guys, right? This is a wealth building ministry, and we're using multiple streams. We're using looking good on paper to build our empire, to also have lifestyle and legacy, right? And so I'm looking at putting together a plan. So in this case, the Jaguar, that was going to be my business vehicle, designated as my sole business vehicle, right? And this is where I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, fully self-employed, so I can have a vehicle that's designated just for my business. And because I have other vehicles, I could designate something else as personal and business, which I'll talk about, right? So this vehicle was then going to be a what? tax write-off for me. Nugget, as you go up the brackets, it's not even always about how much money you make, it's about how much money you save. I help 8 and 9 figure entrepreneurs save more money, keep more money in their pocket, which is just as good as making money. So I'm looking at legitimate tax write-offs to lower my tax liability, give me something I can build my business with and that will make me money, and something I was going to purchase anyway, right? So the car, the Jaguar was going to save me money in tax write-offs, and it was going to make me money with the marketing. I'll talk about the wrap. Now, the plan for this though, right? So just that right there was a smart option if I just stopped right there. But I still wanted something to cover that payment for my working capital. So I also put together a plan to buy a second vehicle, which I actually bought them like a couple of months apart. I bought them back to back. I bought the Jaguar first because that was my priority. And then I bought an Audi AAL, right? Super nice. Nice seats. Love it. Oh my God, I ended up falling in love with that car, okay? And anybody on my Patreon wealth warriors, hey, y'all, I know whenever I start talking about the Audi, I go off on a tangent. So I'm going to stay focused right here, right? Now, the Audi, I knew I was going to rent out, period. I did the numbers in advance. So I knew based on the payment that I was going to have for that, renting that vehicle out, even just part of the time, was going to then cover the amount I needed for the Audi and the amount for the Jaguar. Now, nugget right here. And this, guys, this might be, I said this is a learning, teaching video, okay? So nugget right here. If you have a loan, in this case, I did not have a loan. I had working capital. But let's say you go through this process and you're not able to get working capital. So you choose an auto loan, equipment financing, or a term loan where you have a set monthly payment. Then always remember to put your extra money on the principal. That's how you pay the car off faster. Whenever you have a car note, especially if you have like a Toro business, you do transportation, anything of that nature, your sole goal is to pay the vehicle off as quickly as possible. That way, any income generated by the vehicle is just extra cash flow, extra revenue. Let me give you an example. Let's say you buy a vehicle and the monthly payment and the insurance is $1,000 per month. And let's say you're renting that vehicle out on Toro, something of that nature, which I do private car rentals, but say you use an app like a system like Toro. And let's say that vehicle is now generating $3,000 a month on Toro. Well, $3,000 a month is what your vehicle is generating. $1,000 a month is what your actual payment and car note is and your insurance. So that means every single month you have $2,000 extra to actually go towards your business, build your brand, pay the car off faster. Come on, somebody. How many of you could use, look, comment below if you could use an extra $2,000 a month just by making one smart strategic move. Put yes in the comments. Come on, somebody. Everybody could use an extra $2,000 a month. And if you're wise, you're putting that heavily on the principal. That way you can pay that car off, because then if it's actually generating $3,000 a month, now your vehicle is forever, after you pay it off in full, generating $3,000 a month. So I purchased the actual Audi also, and then started renting that out. And the money from that vehicle helped pay off the Jaguar and the actual Audi. All right, so the next thing, number 4, is to actually purchase the vehicle. So I did actually go on Carvana. I found the vehicle I wanted after looking. I almost gave up because I was finding blue and green, all these things. I specifically wanted white for my wrap. Nugget. Guys, my wrap was a business tax write-off. I actually did a custom wrap. It has my Instagram on there. If you've ever seen it, I have pictures of it on my on the thumbnail for this, but I have pictures of it on my Instagram as well. It has my email, it has my website, it has everything. And at the very least, many people don't have Jaguar company vehicles. So when I drive to the market, when I drive to the cleaners, well, I don't drive to the market. When I drive to the cleaners, when I drive to get my hair done, when I drive to get my nails done, when I'm running errands, going to the office, I always get calls, DMs, emails. It is a marketing machine. So the wrap itself paid for itself in a couple of months, and the car continues to make me money literally every single day as I'm just driving and going about my everyday life. Okay. So purchasing the vehicle. When I found the vehicle that I wanted on Carvana, I put it in my cart, right? So that's how you do it for Carvana. Anyway, that's how Carvana is. You have 48 hours from that point to purchase the actual vehicle. It might be 72 now, it might be 24, but I remember I had 48 hours. When you are doing it on Carvana like that, you usually have 3 options to pay. Follow me, guys, okay? So option number 1 is to go through their financing. So you can do, in this case, I'm just talking about Carvana, right? And somebody like tag them, let them know I'm talking about them, because maybe I should be an affiliate. Come on, somebody. So this is where you can go through and they'll do a credit check and they have their own internal financing. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is, say you got like an auto loan through your bank. Like say you have PNC, say you have Bank of America, say you have Wells Fargo, say you have Chase, say you have Citizens. If you got an auto loan pre-approval in advance, let's say for $50,000 and you find a car for $20,000, you can use that auto loan to actually pay off the car on Carvana, then they'll come deliver it to you. So using third-party financing. Or option number 3, which is the option I use, paying for the car in cash. Now you're probably like, well, Tara, you said you use business credit. I did, right? But my business credit gets direct deposited because I use working capital, which I'm going to explain in the next step, gets direct deposited into my business bank account. So when I'm going to Carvana, I'm going to pay for it. They just take an ACH withdrawal out of my business bank account. So to them, they don't know whether it was a loan. They don't know whether it was working capital. They don't know whether it's a credit card. They don't know whether it's just revenue from my business. They just go ahead and take the money out and the car is paid for in full, right? And then I just register it in my business name, which in this case, Carvana does all of that too. Or if you run into issues, right? Because sometimes depending on your state, depending on your business, depending on what online service you have, if you have an issue registering the car in your business name, just get the vehicle and then go to your auto tags register or something later, right? Or reach out to them and help them, walk through the process for your state, for your situation. Now, nugget right here, guys. I'm not a tax professional, right? Depending on whether you own the car, you lease the car, you use it full time, you pay for it, and you're ready off the whole car or a percentage, that's going to vary. I invest in experts. I have a CPA. I've had him for forever, certified public accountant. So I let him know this is my business vehicle 100%. And he lets me know. I think I was able to do depreciated value, write the whole car off and everything. And then the other car, like the Audi and other cars that I have, then he does. Sometimes I can do miles, sometimes I can do maintenance, but he figures out based on my business and my usage what is the legal way to write these cars off or what tax benefits. Usually you can't write the car off and write off maintenance, right? So it's going to be one or the other depending on your usage. Let me give you an example. And first of all, if you are learning something, right, please like this video, please subscribe, and please share it with somebody, okay? So this is where, let's say you are a single member LLC, or let's say you are a sole proprietor and you are a realtor. Well, you only own one vehicle. Well, you may have a regular job and be a realtor on the side, and you use your vehicle to see clients, to see properties, to go to events, to network, to do open houses. So in that scenario, guys, you can still do this. It's just that you're not writing off the vehicle 100% of the time because you're not a fully self-employed entrepreneur and you are still using it for some personal use. So my nugget right there, the reason why I teach high-level strategy is I want you to get that there's more than one way to get to the goal. Stop watching these videos and just being tunnel vision. I want you to think outside the box so you can understand that you have options, that everybody's situation is a little bit different, okay? So I went ahead and I secured the car so I knew how much money I needed. And then the last step, number 5, is I got my working capital. So guys, I use heavily working capital from payment processors. I've done whole videos on it. I like PayPal, Stripe, and Square. Nugget, I absolutely positively never use Zelle. I never use Cash App. I never use Venmo. Never. Why? I use legitimate payment processors that literally have working capital from $10,000 up to $250,000. Nugget right here. I did a workshop where I explained, I kind of dig deeper into this on how to buy a car in your business name and how to secure up to $250,000. If videos like this interest you and you really want to get trained, I'll put the link in the description of this video and the pinned comments. My business credit training bundle. You want the bundle because it helps you with personal credit, buying a car, and business credit, okay? And the next step is if you want ongoing support, I do live Q&A and live monthly workshops in my Patreon community as a master's. Guys, it's only, I think, $30 a month investment, less than what you guys do for Uber Eats, okay? So for that investment, I do high-level strategy like this every single month for my masters in my Patreon Wealth Warrior community. And when you're really ready to level up, you can invest on a one-on-one strategy session with me, and Nugget, depending on when you're watching this, for the month of April, Patreon only has a discount. Okay, so I secure my working capital. So in this case, I went to Stripe for the Jaguar and I used Square for the Audi. Okay, and literally, I already knew that I had an approved amount with them. I only withdraw the amount that I needed. They direct deposit that amount into my business checking account, guys. And then for the payment, guess what? They actually just take a percentage of my sales and they give me a quarterly bill. So in the quarterly bill, right, a lot of times I've paid more if they're just taking a percentage of my sales, or if at any time there's a lower amount of sales, then they'll say, hey, you know, your monthly bill for the quarter was $8,000. You only made $6,000. You owe $2,000, which has never happened because I always am wise about what I borrow and what my cash flow is. So I don't even see the money at all. They direct deposit it. And nugget right here, the reason why this is powerful is because when a payment processor direct deposits money into your business bank account, you can use it for anything. That means if I needed a box truck, if I needed a Sprinter van, if I needed maybe not a four-wheeler, right? But if I needed a 15-passenger van, maybe you're a daycare, maybe you have elderly transport, guys. There's so many ways to leverage business credit to not only build your empire, but then me paying this off means I always qualify for more money. They email me, do you need some money? Do you need some money? Do you need some money? You pay that back and then you qualify for more. So at any given time, I actually have between like 3 and 5 vehicles because I also rent them out and I like cars. So I actually buy things that I like to drive myself, and when they're not being rented out, I drive them. But they're business tax write-offs. They're paid for with business credit, and then I qualify for more money and I pay them off in advance. So now they're collateral owned by my business that I can borrow against if I need to. Bars. Okay, so I hope that helps. So I said, I research, I evaluate my business, I make a plan, I purchase the vehicle, and I use working capital for my merchant accounts, specifically Square, Stripe, and PayPal, because they have up to $250,000 in funding that gets direct deposited to your business bank account with no hard inquiry on personal or business. I've done this tons of times. It's my favorite way to buy vehicles in my business name. And for my nugget, guys, I need you to get serious about this. If you really want to break a generational curse, if you really want to be a multimillionaire, if you really want to be the person that has legacy and leaves an inheritance and leads by example, then you're going to have to get financially literate before you get financially free. Stop casually watching videos and really get a notebook, really get a pen, really watch multiple times, really invest in training, really invest in a coach, because that knowledge is going to be priceless to you, more than 6 and 7 figures, and you'll have it throughout the lifetime. But more importantly, God cannot bless you with $1 million if you're mismanaging 30,000. How are you going to be a multimillionaire? And how are you going to break the generational curses when you don't understand finances, credit, leverage on a basic level? So guys, I'm here to help. They don't teach it in school. They don't teach it in college. We don't talk about the dining room table. But when you know better, you do better. I have over 20 years of experience. I'm a board certified credit consultant. I used to work for TransUnion. Looking good on paper has changed my life. And now it has changed thousands of people's lives for the people who are connected to me. So your very next step is to get intentional and serious about getting financially literate, because the outcome is transformational. Amen.